You have missed lessons 1 through 4. It's all good because you can catch up. All you gotta do is subscribe to the Speak Like Transformation TV YouTube channel to be able to catch all the previous episodes where I've had some amazing women join me to talk about the ups and downs in lives and how to navigate it all through speaking life. And what is speaking life? Well, let me tell you. Speaking life is when you start speaking things into existence, even when things don't seem like they're going the way you want them to go, even when things you have a plan, you have an idea, you have a goal, and it's not there yet, but you start speaking it into the present existence, even though it's not there yet. You speak about it now as if it is here, where you start to believe in your abilities to make it happen. And you speak it because there's confidence in your abilities to make it happen. And if you believe in God, there's confidence that God got you. We talked about that last week. Check that out. God got you is the poem we used. You believe that God got you, and then you're all good. And so this is what Speak Life is all about. That's why I named my business Speak Life Transformation. I'm helping people speak life into all that they do. And this series, the Speak Life Lessons, is a special series. I decided to create this series in honor of my coloring book, My Self-Talk Speaks Life. Hear the theme there? My Self-Talk Speaks Life inspirational coloring book. This coloring book was launched and released last February of 2023. And so in honor of the year celebration, 1 year anniversary of this book being released, I decided to do the Speak Life Lessons. And so in every single episode, you will be able to hear a poem that's located in the coloring book. So you heard it right. This coloring book is not your normal average coloring book for adults and older teens. Yes, older teens like 16 and up, they can be able to enjoy it as well. This book is filled with amazing coloring designs and also affirmation poetry. And this is what it looks like. My Self-Talk Speaks Life inspirational coloring book. You can check it out on the speaklifetransformation.com website to purchase your copy. I'm going to tell you more about the bundle that I have available with this, my newest book that I released is a healing journal. More of that to come. But tonight's episode, I got my girl Toya with me. I'm so excited because this is so fitting for her. And if you didn't know, I challenged every one of my guests to look through the My Self-Talk Speaks Life inspirational coloring book and choose one poem that connects with them most. And to choose a poem that they would like to use to be the driving force of our conversation today. And Toya did not disappoint because she picked a good one. And so I'm super excited about this conversation. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome my girl, Toya.
Hi, what's going on?
What is up? So
Ooh,
glad you're here.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this.
Yes. This is one of those conversations that it's like a much
Mm.
needed girl talk type of conversation. I
Yeah,
feel like,
yeah. My favorite conversations to have.
yeah. So tell people a little bit about you.
Okay, I am Latoya Hammonds, and of course, she has me up there as Toya because people typically, after the first time you meet me, you're gonna be calling me Toya, you're gonna be calling me T. So whatever fits, most likely I'm gonna answer to it. So, but yeah, I am Toya, and I am here. I am. Let me see. I'm a mother of two amazing teen boys. I am an author. I'm a speaker, social media mentor, purpose pusher. I am a God's girl. I love God. God got me. That's got my heart. I'm a God girl. And I don't know. Some like I was telling you earlier, like when I get this question, sometimes like tell people about yourself. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I know I've said before, sometimes I feel like you just have to experience me, I think sometimes. I just think sometimes you just have to experience me, but those are some of the things that I use to describe myself because that's just near and dear to my heart.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we already have some people coming in. Wandria said, "Hello, ladies. Hey, girl.
Hey,
Hey."
hey,
Uh,
twin.
and so, yes, the chat is live and popping. I will
Oh,
be
nice.
keeping an eye out on the chat. So if you're watching this on YouTube, light up the chat. If you're watching this on
Yes,
Instagram,
please.
light up the chat.
Yes,
Share
give
your
us some love.
comments, share your
Yes,
questions. I will definitely read them out, and I will even post some as well. So feel free. This is an engaging, as you can see, it's
yes,
going to be an
nice.
engaging type of conversation. So definitely join the conversation, be a part of
Yes,
it. Don't
come
just
on
be a
in.
watcher,
Please,
be
please, please
engaged with
come on
it.
and get in the chat. Tap in.
Yes, hey Jocelyn, hey girl, hey, what's up?
Yes, that's my day.
Wait, so you see you mentioned many names, but
Mm,
Jocelyn just said Aunt Tinky. Is that a new name?
Pinky.
That's another name?
No, that is like a family nickname. My nickname in my family is Tink, Tink. And so when Jocelyn was born, her and her brother, they started calling me Aunt Tinky. They added the extra onto the end and still call me that to this day. And I'm like, don't change it. Don't call me nothing else. Y'all don't know me by any other names but that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I have a few names too. Like I have
Yeah.
so at one of my last jobs there was two Natashas. And
Oh, okay.
so they gave me the name Natty as a way to
Oh,
differentiate the
wow.
two.
Okay.
And it's not really one that I'm like, yeah, call me Natty.
Yeah.
But it worked for that environment. So anybody, so a lot
Absolutely.
of people don't, so people who I worked with in that environment, they've only called me Natty. They don't
Oh,
know me by
wow.
anything else. But they know me as Natasha, but they never call me Natasha.
Right. Right.
So
Oh,
like
wow.
if you're from that environment, you can call me Natty. If you're not from that environment, nope,
Right.
you
Yeah.
don't get to
No.
call me Natty.
No.
It's like those family names, like, yeah, my family can call me that nickname, but not you. Yeah.
Exactly. It's only certain people that can call me Tink. A couple people have like tried to slide it in there, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, like no, no, no.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the conversation. So first things first, let's read the poem for tonight, the feature poem. Again, this is from the My Self Talk Speaks Life inspirational coloring book. You can check it out on the speaklifetransformation.com website. Get your copy. There's also a bundle. Let me just put that out there now.
Yeah,
There is
don't
a
promote the
bundle.
bundle.
I'm just gonna put it out there now. Um, and so there is so I have a healing journal that I just released. It's called Hello Me. It's nice to meet you. The healing journal for unlocking your true self. And this is all
Mm,
about different healing points to really help you heal and grow in different areas. It's a really great journal. Check out my book talk on my YouTube channel that talks to you in depth about this book. I was me
oh,
and a couple
nice.
of girls. We did like a Galentine's special. We were just
Okay.
they had the journal as well. They talked about their experience with their journal. They asked some questions about the journal. I explained how to use the journal, like all the good things. So if you want to know more about this journal, what it's all about, make sure you go to the Speak Like Transformation TV YouTube channel to be able to check out that live to learn more about the journal. And then I made a bundle. To be honest, I had no plans of making a bundle, but they were like, "So you gonna
Really?
make a bundle, right?" And I'm like, "Well,
Right.
you said so. That's not
Listen,
a bad
bundle
idea."
it up.
So
Bundle it up.
that's exactly what they said. They said bundle it up. That's exactly what they said. So I bundled it up, and
There you
now
go.
there is a bundle offer. So you can pre-order it. The Hello Me is going to be available March the 6th, but you can pre-order your copy now. You
Nice.
can also pre-order your bundle now if you would like. So let's get into this poem here,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
it's a
called
doozy.
um I am more than enough. And so for those who
Mm,
don't know, the inspiration behind all these poems actually is from my personal life, but then also my clients' lives. Like I said before, I'm a psychotherapist, and so a lot of the stories of the women I worked with really inspired me through their journeys. And I actually dedicate this book to my clients, and I just thank them for allowing me to be a part of their healing journey. And as a result of me joining them on their journey, I was able to see where they started from and then where they ended at. And so a
mm.
lot of this is about their end, right?
Oh,
A
nice.
lot
Nice.
talking
I
about
love that.
through their healing. Not saying they're done healing, because we're never done healing. We're
Right.
always for healing,
Always. Yeah.
but to the place now where they are at a healed place and they are at a place of growth and healing. And so that's where a lot of these poems are coming from. So tonight's poem again is called I Am More Than Enough. And this is what it says. I was created to do big things. I am capable of walking in my purpose. I am not only accomplishing my goals, but exceeding them. God made a way for me to shine in everything I do. I may not know what's to come, but I know I have everything I need to conquer it. I was born more than enough. Even when I make mistakes, I am more than enough. I only accept things and people that honor my value. I am more than enough. I do not need to change, fix, or modify who I am. God made no mistakes when He created me. I respect, honor, and love who I am. I am more than enough. I am more than enough. I am more than
Yes.
enough.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So Toya, tell me, why did you pick this? What made this
Woo.
poem stand out most to you?
So the day that you gave me the book, I when I dropped Justice off for the G1 event, and then when I came
Hmm.
back to pick him up, and I had a little bit of time, so I sat in the car and I actually started looking through it, and I started from the back of the book. I don't know why. Started from the
Mm-hmm.
back of the book, and when I got to this one, it broke me all the it just broke me all the way down. It broke me all the way down. I was like, okay, get it together. And I was like, look at a couple other ones. And I started, I just started looking and I kept coming back to that one. There were other ones that spoke to certain pieces,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
this one, I think just because of the initial reaction that I had to it,
Hmm. Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
and it spoke to where I'm at in this season of my life
Hmm.
of really embracing and owning that that I'm more than enough.
Hmm.
And so yeah, that's really why I was like, it captures this season of my life that I'm in.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's when I wrote this one, it was in honor to the women who were on this journey where they were fighting to find their
Mm.
enough. This is why
Yes,
today's session or lesson, lesson number 5 is finding your enough,
I
and so I
love that.
title it that because it's what I mean by that is finding w- what makes you enough, right?
Hmm.
Finding defines you being enough,
Yes,
finding that that level of energy, that confidence that says no, I
yeah,
I am
no,
more than enough.
yeah,
And it sounds like that's a journey that you have been on, and you're at a
yes.
place now. Would you say you found your enough, or you're finding your enough?
I believe I'm finding my enough, but I found my enough in certain areas of my life. I
Hmm.
think again in the season that I'm in over the last couple of years, it's it's ironic how the very the very moment that caused me to question whether I was enough or not is the very
Hmm.
same thing that has caused me to embrace and own that I am
Hmm.
enough.
Mm.
3 years ago, right at the top of the pandemic, for the most part, I went through a separation and then subsequently a divorce. And that is one of the very first questions that I had in the midst of all of this of like, God, like, why am I not enough? Why am I not
Mm.
enough? Am I
Mhm.
enough? Like, the woulda, coulda, shoulda, I should have done this, I should have done that. If I could only have done this, I should have done that. Why am I not? Why am I not enough? Will I ever be enough?
Mm. Mm.
And so again, it was that very situation that caused me to now begin to look at embracing and owning and really learning
Yeah.
to understand that, like, no, you are enough. You are more than enough. I think growing up, you're a kid and you're
Yeah.
just growing up. You're just living this life,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and
Trying to
so
survive.
right, you're trying to survive. You're living life. All you know is this is life, right?
Hmm.
So you don't really question whether you're enough or not. And it's not until something may happen that may
Yeah.
cause you to question that. And so for me, looking back, I'm like, well, I never, really questioned that. But once I started to open that up and really go to God with it, I could look back in my childhood, junior high, high school, college, and see certain ways I was showing up. One could look at me and say, like, she doesn't believe that she's enough. She doesn't value herself because of decisions that I was making. And again, in the ways that I was showing up. And so in the last 3 years, that is the journey. That's a part of the journey that I was on, the healing journey that I was on, was really solidifying and again embracing and owning, like, no, you are more than enough. You've always been enough. You are enough and you will always be enough.
Yeah. When you were talking, it reminded me of a conversation, which actually she's on YouTube. Hey, Kenya. Kenya was one of my, not YouTube, she's on Instagram. Kenya was one of my guests for my talk show, Unapologetic Living. And one of the things we
Mm-hmm.
talked about was the confidence mask. And so when you were talking about
Mm,
how, like, we think, you're at a place where you're like, I've never questioned. I never thought I didn't think I was more than enough. But then when you look
yeah.
back, you realize like, oh, maybe I now that I'm recognizing the behaviors and the choices,
Yeah.
I actually didn't really recognize my own worth. And I think as women, we often, and this is what we talked about in this conversation, within the episode I had on my TV show, was like, as women, we can if someone asked, a lot of times, first of all, nobody wants to say they feel insecure. Like it feels like a
Right.
very weak, a very weak and
Yeah. Yeah.
shameful type
Mm-hmm.
of thing to acknowledge and admit, right? So we
Absolutely.
have this confidence mask that we have it all together. We have this
Yeah.
confidence mask that I know everything. I don't need anybody's help. I'm strong. I'm
Mhm.
independent. All the
Yeah.
things, right?
Mhm.
And really inside, we are struggling. But sometimes we have the mask on. We wear it so well that we're even
Mhm.
masking it from our own selves.
Yeah.
Like we're even
Oh,
lying
yes.
to our own selves that we're
Right.
confident, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many times I've
Yeah.
been in therapy sessions where I would ask somebody, like, ask them about their confidence or self-esteem, and they're quickly to say, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm confident. I do this well.
Yeah.
I do that." And then we start digging deep into just situations and choices and thought processes, and just realize, that, oh, I guess I guess I really am
No,
not as
maybe
confident
not
as I thought I
as you
was.
think you are. Yes.
Because sometimes we lie. We're good, not even as women, but like as human beings, we're good at lying to our own selves. Anybody else?
Yes.
Put that
And
in the chat. Raise your hand if you
listen,
sometimes
and believing all
lie
of
to
it,
yourself.
believing the whole story.
Believing the entire story, and
Yes.
then get mad when confronted because, and
Mm.
I've talked about this before, about we end up the reason why it hits hard when we're
Yeah.
confronted is because that mask has been helping us to not face the things that we've been fearing most of.
Ooh, yes. That's
That
so
mask has
good.
been helping us to not have
Mm-hmm.
to deal with the things that we've been running from.
We were running from
And then when
exactly.
you point it out, now you're forcing me to face it. So now I'm mad.
Right.
Now I feel
Now I'm a
uncomfortable.
whole
Yeah.
attitude.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because I'm
Right.
uncomfortable and you making me face something I really don't want to face. So now I'm gonna take it out on
Yes.
you because you're the
Mhm.
reason why I have to face
You
this
the
thing.
reason. Ooh, that's so good. So good and so very true. And I think with that, wearing that confidence mask is because it, like you said, it's uncomfortable to be vulnerable with yourself.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
It's so uncomfortable to sit there and admit, like, I don't believe that I can do this. I don't think I'm capable of doing this. Like, no, and then when we're comparing ourselves to other people,
Mhm. Yeah.
when you're comparing yourself to other people, wherever it is, whether it's directly, whether it's indirectly, because you're looking at people on social media and their
Mhm, mhm,
platforms and on
mhm.
YouTube, or if it's even, people that are close to you that may be at a certain place on their journey that you're not, but you would like to be,
Yeah,
all those
yeah.
things, you're like, how do you show up? Like, how do I show up in these spaces when I know, like, okay, there's something on the inside of me. Like, I know I have a purpose. I know God has called me to do something. I'm in it, but I'm not where I want to be. And
Yeah.
so, and now I'm looking at all these people, and it's just like, so you get it's hard to get vulnerable with yourself to admit, like, man, like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think that I can do this, but I have to say that I can because that's what's expected of
Right.
me to say, because people want to hear that. Because what I found for me, my struggle was that other people saw in me what I couldn't see in myself.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so, how do they see this in me?
Yeah.
They speak this into me. How do I now say to them, I don't believe that. I'm
Mhm,
scared.
mhm.
Like, I hear you, but that's not how I really truly see myself.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's why this poem is so important because it's challenging you to say I
Mm,
am enough. And not even just
yeah,
enough, but I'm more than enough,
more
right?
than enough. Yeah.
There's a level of there's a shift that happens
Mhm.
when you add that more, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's no limitation there, right? When you say
Ooh,
more than enough, you take away the limitation, like, well, I'm enough in this area, or
right.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm
Oh, that's
enough
so
to this
good.
capacity, right?
Yeah.
But when you say more, it
I'm
shifts
more
the
than
vibe
enough.
and energy to recognize that, and no matter what the situation is, no matter the capacity, no matter what is I'm put in or I'm put in front of, I'm gonna exceed at it. Which is
More than
why, so every poem has a like a side like mantra. And so for
yeah.
this one, the mantra for this poem is I exceed my goals. Right.
Hmm.
Because it's recognizing that I'm more than enough. So I don't just like I exceed at anything that I do
Yes.
because
Oh, I
I'm
love
more
that.
than enough.
I'm
Right.
more than enough. I love that. Like I love that what you said about that more. Like it increases your capacity to
Hmm.
not stay limited to just like, okay, I hit this benchmark. Like, no,
Hmm.
we can go past that. Like we serve a God who is more than enough. He is abundant, he is limitless. And so we should be able to see ourselves in the same way. So it's like, no, I am more than enough. So
Yeah.
I love the reasoning behind that.
Yeah. One of the lines in here says, let me find it. Uh, here it is. Here it is. I only accept things and people that honor
Ooh.
my value.
Mhm.
This piece is so important because many times we end up not understanding our more than enough, or we can't
Yeah.
find our enough
Mhm.
because we're not in the right places. We're not with the right
Right,
people
people.
that are honoring that, right, or valuing it. And so, um, how does that like choosing to be with people that honor and value, right? Yourself. How does that impact self love, or how does that show a level of self love in your thoughts?
I think choosing to be in the places and spaces and around people that value you and honor who you are, that plays into your self love because it all starts with you, right? When we're talking about self love, it starts with you. And so you need to be in a place, first of all, to honor and value who you are and what's on the inside of you. And when you can, then you choose better. You choose the places
Yeah.
um, that honor and value. You choose the people that honor and value you, and you're able to see if you're in rooms, if you're in groups, if you're in relationships, if you're on your job, wherever it is, then you're able to see and make a choice. But like, no, that's not honoring and valuing who I am. No,
Mhm.
that person is not honoring and valuing who I am. So you get to make that choice to walk away, to leave, and to maintain the way that you see yourself, to maintain the love and what you've put into you. Because ultimately, I've started adopting saying this: you go where you go. And
Mm.
so, however you're feeling about yourself, how you honor yourself, how you value yourself, you're going to take that into those spaces. You're going to take that into those relationships. And so, the degree of where you honor and value yourself, that's the degree of how you're going to show up and
Yeah.
what you're going to allow yourself to receive from other people. And
Yeah.
so, it has to start with us first and how we value and how we see ourselves.
Hmm. Yeah, that's so good. And I think, you know, one of the questions is always how, right?
Oh,
I hear
yeah.
what you're saying, Toya, but how
Right,
do I
right.
find my value, right? And so what for you, how did you start to find your value? What did your
Mm.
journey look like of really figuring out what
Um,
is it that needs to be honored and valued
yeah.
about you?
It was quite honestly, and not to sound churchy, but I told y'all at the top, I'm a God's girl.
We
It
got girls here, so
really,
a little God talk up in here.
really, okay, listen, it really was my relationship with God. It
Hmm.
really was going to Him. And, like I said, when I asked the questions, why am I not enough? Why wasn't I enough? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, what's wrong with me? Why don't
Hmm.
they want me? All those questions, I
Hmm.
brought those questions to God
Yeah.
because he's the creator. He created me. He knows what he put inside of me. He knows what he said about me. And so I had to go to him. It was not
Mhm.
easy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, you talking tears, crying, weeping, snotting, laid out on the floor. I mean, you know, punching the air, you know, A couple of pillows may have been tossed in the process. Nobody was hurt. But
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes we got to get down like that with God and take it to Him and allow Him to pour back into us. But
Yeah.
wherever we are, we got to get it out to let Him know this is where we are. This is how I'm feeling. So in turn, he can pour that love back into us, going into his word, finding out what he says about me. You know, he says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He knows the plans that he has for us. He's promised to take care of us. He's given us a purpose. He has a plan for us. Like, you know, a lot of times we can put the focus on our love for God, our worship towards God, our, you know, how we praise him, but the other part to that is understanding how much he loves us.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, his love is lavish towards us, it's reckless towards us, it's unconditional towards us. So it's understanding how he feels about us, seeing
Mhm.
ourselves the way God sees us. I'll never forget. And she's probably still knowing Wandry. I call her, we're personality twins. Um,
Yeah,
and
she
I
like in the
remember
chat. I love it.
yeah, I remember one of the things she said to me, she's like, I can't wait for you to see yourself the way God sees you. And
Mm,
every
mm,
time every time the thoughts are like, I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if you're
mm.
capable. It's like, you know, you can do this, but then the thought is still like, but can you?
Right,
Right?
right. Yep.
We know
Mhm.
that's the enemy. Like
And yep.
he's gonna throw that shade, he's gonna throw that dart.
Mhm, mhm,
And I always like that sticks in my head. Like I can't wait for you to see yourself the way God sees you. And the only way I'm going to continue to be able to do that is when I step out. When I am like, no, you can
mhm.
do this. God says you can do this. You are more than enough. You got this. So the how really, for me, it started with God. Um, the word in I think it's Psalms 119. Um, 71, I'm thinking. It says it was good that I was afflicted because then it caused me to know the statutes, the principles, basically to understand and read God like a textbook. And
Yeah.
it drew me to him. And so, again, that separation, that divorce, which planted, you know, rejection, abandonment, all those things. But it was like, but it was good that I was afflicted because it
Mhm.
drew me closer to God and it allowed me, again, like I said, the very thing that caused me to question whether or not I was enough is this very same thing that led me into now beginning to go on this journey of owning and finding my enough. So it starts with your relationship with God, your relationship with yourself, being vulnerable with yourself. Because I feel like when you can be vulnerable with yourself, you can be vulnerable with God.
Listen, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I
so
think just two things you said, right? One thing you were talking about with the having a relationship, like going to God and just kind of like, punching in the air, snot and anything, like all the things come out. And I think it's because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about how we could be really good with lying to ourselves, but we can't lie to
Mhm.
God.
We
So when we
can't
come
lie.
to God, He gonna reveal some stuff that you've been hiding from, and that's when that's when the punch in the
Oh,
walls and the snot,
oh
because
my
he's not
God.
gonna allow you to lie. He's not gonna allow you to keep
No,
lying
not
about
at
how you
all.
really feel and what you're really going through, which is
Yes.
why there's a sense of deliverance that happens.
Hmm.
Um, and so the other thing you said too was about how Wandria has spoke into you, right? And that goes back to what we were saying about the importance of that line that was says, I only accept things and
Yeah.
people that honor
Whoo.
my value, right?
Yeah.
When that's a perfect example of how when you are accepting people that value you in your life, they're going to speak things into you that you may not get, you may not see, but God is using
Right.
them for you to find your way, for you to see yourself the way he
Absolutely.
sees you, like you said.
Yes, yes, yes,
And so
yes.
that's a perfect example of
Oh my
that.
God. Yes, I'm so
Yeah.
grateful because I mean, my team, I call them my squad. They are like I call them, they're my snipers in the spirit. Like they had me. I mean,
Mhm.
they had me. And what I love is they allowed me to be, right? They just
Mm,
allowed me to be. They allowed me to break.
mm,
You know, again, she gave me permission. She literally, these are her, she gave me permission to break and to
mm,
just be and allow it to just, you know, allow it to just
mhm,
come out. And I think, and
mhm,
again, when we have those people around you, that is a way that they honor and they value what's inside of you because they see what God is doing in your
Yeah.
life. And so again, you need those type when you're going through stuff, you need those are the people, that's the squad
Yeah.
that you need, that's the squad that you need around you. You know, you
Mhm.
don't want nobody to jump in the pit with you. And now we both just sitting here snotting and crying and looking crazy.
Listen, listen,
Like,
listen.
no,
The blind leading the blind here. Yeah.
right. No, I need you like what like
Right.
listen,
One of us
one
got to be able
of
to
us
have 20/20
one
vision.
of us gotta be a role model.
Or at
Like,
least
what
have
is
the
going on?
eyeglasses that's clear enough for to be able to see. Yeah.
Sid, Sid.
Um, so a lot of what you're saying connects with this one part in the poem. I'm about to say the scripture in the poem
Girl, come on
that
with the
says,
word.
um, "I do not need to change, fix, or modify who I am. God made no mistakes when He created me."
Woo.
That goes with what you were saying about just knowing, being able to see yourself the way God sees you.
Yes.
Also, the reason why I really added this into the poem,
Hmm.
especially the fixed aspect of the modify, because it goes back to what you're saying about the comparisons. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others, or we have so much shame about past mistakes that we feel like we got to
Hmm.
trash our past, just trash who we were, and we got
Yeah,
to just
yeah,
create a
yeah.
whole new version
Whole
of
new person.
ourselves, or we need
Hmm.
to just like fix who we are because we are not like this other model version
Oh
of that
my
we are
God.
envisioning we should be. And
Yeah. Yeah.
because of that,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
broken. I need to fix myself to
Mm.
be this ideal version.
Oh my
And
God.
really, like when you recognize you are more than enough, you recognize I don't need to change anything about me. I don't need to fix
Not
anything about me. And also,
a
growth doesn't mean changing and fixing.
thing.
Growth means
Right.
growth. You know,
Growth
like
means
growth is
growth.
growing. Yeah.
Growth means growth. Like you're
Mhm,
just ever evolving into a
mhm,
better version of
mhm.
you, of who you've always supposed to be.
Yeah.
That line right there. Woo. And it was, I don't know what it was, but the word fix, that I was like, that part, because when you think about it, we can use words like I don't have to change, I don't
Mhm.
have to, but it's something about the word fix, because really when you hear the word fix, you're thinking about objects, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to take a word that you would normally correlate with an object to
Mhm,
yourself, that is so like impactful, because
mhm.
it really goes to the again, how are you seeing yourself? You are not an object. You are God's child. You are a child of the most high God, somebody that is loved beyond measure. And so it's like you don't have to fix anything about yourself. Like I
Yeah.
know we talk about we're broken and broken people, but I don't really sometimes I don't always like to use broken,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not broken. I don't need fixing,
Right.
right? There
Mhm,
are some cracks and there are some dents and there are some, some things that need
mhm,
to be shaped and molded
mhm.
and finessed and meticulous with it. But I'm not
Right.
broken because I don't need to be fixed. There are just
Yeah.
some things, life has life, right?
Mhm.
So I've got some bumps and I've got some bruises, so I need to heal. I got some dents, I got some dings that need to be smoothed out, that need to be reshaped. So yeah, that I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't need to
Yeah.
be fixed.
Yeah.
Nobody else should be trying to fix you. You don't need to be fixed. You need like there has to be some healing that takes place,
Yeah.
some growth that takes place. Invest in yourself so you can get better, become a better version of yourself, become who God has called you to be. So yeah, I don't know if I sound hype right now, but like that
No,
fix just
no, no. I
woo.
mean, it's so real. Like, a lot of people often talk about broke being. I'm a broken, but even when you
Mhm,
say it, it just sounds like
mhm.
you're like you can't be repaired. Like there's piece
Yes.
of you that just got to be just discarded. And
Yeah.
usually, if
Yeah.
something's broken, what do? You trash it.
You can
Most
trash
things
it.
that's broken, you just trash it. You're like, oh,
Mhm.
let's start all over again. Let me just buy a new one, right?
Right, right.
And
Gone are the
so it's like,
days we trying to get the super glue, trying to put it together. Next thing your fingers are stuck together.
right,
You got
right,
stuff
right,
stuck to,
right.
and
So
you,
it's
and
like.
then you still gonna be like, I'm done. Just throw the things
Right.
away.
Yeah, you're like throw it away. Like I'm just let's start all over. Which then goes back to like the whole fixing thing, right? And so when you end up looking at yourself as this broken person, if you
Yeah.
and most people who end up having that mindset, and there's a level of hopelessness that happens with that because it's like you thinking about being broken, and then so you don't even know how to quote unquote fix yourself because you can't fix yourself. Because
Right.
most likely when you're thinking about fixing yourself, that means you're thinking about getting rid of parts of you and replacing it
Mhm.
with version, but there is no new version. You are you,
You
right?
are
You are
you.
you.
Absolutely.
And the fixing piece is really fixing the mindset of accepting that you are you, and
Yeah,
that is enough. That
just
is
be
more than
it's more
enough.
than enough. It really, really is more than enough. I always love to say, like, own every piece of you.
Yeah.
The good, I don't even like to
Mhm.
necessarily say the bad, but like the good, the not so great. I'm always
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna own my weirdness, my quirks, my introvertedness. I say my social awkwardness, although people don't believe that. I'm like, no, trust me. Y'all see me outside, but on the
Right.
inside, I feel like
Mhm.
I'm tripping, I'm stumbling, I'm fumbling, I'm stuttering, like all of that is going on in the
Mhm.
inside. But I'm learning, and I have learned, but continuing to learn how to embrace that, how to just own that. And like,
Mhm.
this is me. This is who
Yeah.
you get. This is who you are going to get at the foundation, at the core of who I am.
Mhm.
I am me. And again, I don't need to be changed. I don't need to be fixed. I don't need to be
Mhm.
modified. And those that see that and honor that and value that, understand that, and they won't try to
Yeah.
be those things.
Right. Right. Well, I'm actually gonna put a challenge out to the viewers.
Oh, come on.
I challenge you to put in the chat one thing that you are
Mm,
claiming that you will not view as needing to be fixed, changed, or
I
broken,
love
or
that.
need to
I
be
love that.
modified? What is that one thing that you are promising yourself to never look at again as something that needs to be changed,
Oh,
fixed,
that's good.
broken? Or maybe you might be like, I've never looked at myself in that way. If you didn't, go ahead, girl, do you.
Okay.
So name the one thing that
Okay.
you've always looked at yourself as being the bomb, and that you
Yes.
will never allow anybody to make you feel like you need to change, fix, or modify. But for the rest of us in the community that has had moments, we look in the mirror and we're like, oh, I wish I could do this one thing in my face
Right.
or my
Like,
body.
oh, yeah.
Put that in the chat.
Listen.
I dare you. And because part of this goes back to what you were saying, Toya, about being vulnerable, right? Part of
Hmm.
that growth, right? If you cannot be vulnerable with yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then how can you expect people to be vulnerable with you? How can you expect people to open up to you and get close to you, connect with you
So
if you can't even
good.
open up and
So
connect to yourself?
good.
And there's no shame in that. There's even if you're struggling with that, listen, we all are struggling in something. And so
Right.
push
Yeah.
is not to condemn you. The push is not to cause you to feel shameful. The push is to
Yeah.
cause you to challenge yourself to work through that, right? To go
Yeah.
beyond what that inner critic is saying, the enemy is saying that, oh, don't put that in chat because you're gonna be judged. People gonna look at you like, who's that on? They're gonna look
Mm,
at your social media and they're gonna be looking at you and they're gonna make nope,
that.
don't let the tricks, don't let the tricks stop you
Yes.
from claiming that
Absolutely.
you are more than enough, because the enemy will cause you to feel
Absolutely.
like you should not be doing this because you're just going to get judged or nobody's going to like it,
Right.
or you tell
Exactly.
yourself that you don't need to be doing it.
Right. And that's a part of you getting free, and he don't want you to get free.
That
Because
part.
once you put it out there, he has no stake, he has no claim, ain't nothing he can do with it. You know what I mean? It's just
Hmm.
like, ah, beat you
Hmm.
to it, got you,
Yep. Yep.
like, so what else you got? Because it's out there. It's
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
now.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, for me, I would say the one thing for me that doesn't need to be changed, fixed, or modified is am I just like I could be very forward in a very like humorous or funny way,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
straightforward and blunt. And not everybody can handle it, but people appreciate the honesty that I have. And I don't need to fix that. I might work on my delivery so
Delivery, right,
it
right.
works, but I don't need to change, my honesty and my goofiness. I'm also can be really goofy. I don't need to change any of that.
Not at
I'm more
all.
than enough
You
with
are
my
more than enough.
straightforward, goofy behind.
And there you go. There you go. There you go. I think I would say the one thing I don't need to change about myself, I really think it's my personality. Sometimes I don't think everybody gets it
Yeah.
sometimes. I think, I've been told before that I can come off a little standoffish,
Mhm.
or because sometimes I'm just very like, I observe. I like to survey the land, like see what's going on, check the vibe. And then it's like, okay, this is all right, we're gonna jump in here. And if not, I typically am sitting there like, oh. But I think for me, it's just again, it's my makeup. It's how I am and understanding. I think it's so important to understand how God has created you.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
understand how God has created you, because I think there are some things that other people have labeled as a flaw, or other people have made fun of you for, teased you for, didn't quite understand. So when they don't understand it, they're going to name it something.
Right.
So I've been
Right.
called too sensitive. I've been called bougie. I've been
Mhm.
called you're too quiet. I've been called you all these things. And I got to a point of just like, I understand how God has created me. And so because you could understand it, you had to name it something. You had to turn it into something negative. And I'm at a point now of just like those things I don't have to fix or change, because I've seen how God has used those things
Yeah.
as a part of my purpose. Like sometimes I do need to sit back and see what's going on to
Mhm.
understand when to be silent and when to speak up.
Yeah.
I understand that my quote unquote too sensitive, that's me. I have a heart for people.
Mhm.
And so when people feel, I feel, and then I feel, and that's not a bad thing to stay in touch with my emotions and to be able to feel. So yeah, I've looked at those things again in the last several years. It's like, no, they're a part of your purpose. Is how God has created you. And so
Mhm.
you don't need to change or fix it. And again, back to what we said, people that can't honor that, people that can't find value in that may not be the people that need to be in your
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me just shout out the women that decided to take on this challenge. I appreciate y'all. We
All
have,
right.
I know we have Jocelyn. She said social anxiety tries to have me on a chokehold, girl. That social anxiety will definitely make you feel
Yes,
like have you overthinking all the things
everything.
and not
That's
in
what we
the present. But yes, let that go. Let that go. Yes. And
yes,
then we
let
have
that go. We're gonna work on that one.
and then Wandria put up let me see what she put that she is quirky. Guess
Quirky.
what?
We
Embrace it,
love the
girl.
quirky. Yes, we love the quirky.
Yes, embrace it, embrace it.
Yes.
Um so yeah, I think I appreciate, and if you're watching this on a replay, still put it in the
Yes,
comments. I would
please.
love to
Yes.
hear it in the comments. Those who are joining us on Instagram, feel free to light up the comments with one thing that you are going to no longer allow society, your inner critic, to
Yeah.
make you feel like you need to fix, modify, or change. What is that one thing
Right.
about you that you're going to recognize? I am more than enough. This is part of me and it's more than
It's
enough. So
more
feel
than
free to put
enough.
that in the chat. This has
Love
been
it.
great. I like to
I
end the
love it.
show with one lesson, a lesson
Yes.
takeaway that you have
Ooh.
from our conversation today. What is that? What would you say is your aha or your lesson that the lesson you've learned, your self-talk lesson you had for tonight?
I think going back to when you talked about the word more,
Mm,
understanding like that more, um, that capacity that we
mhm,
have to
mhm,
be and that we are more than enough, and
mhm,
just reminding yourself of not even limiting yourself at I'm enough, because you don't want to fall into that good enough, right? Like,
mhm,
no, I'm enough, but I'm actually more than enough, because I think that when we get that, it will allow us to go after more, take more risks. That's
mhm.
something for me this year is taking more risks of stepping out and understanding you can do this. You have the capacity to do this. Why? Because you're more than enough. God has called you to it, which means you're more than enough, capable. You can do this, and to also just make sure to continue to keep yourself and myself surrounded by people that value that and honor that.
Yeah, yeah. I would say the lesson I had for today was when we talked about how we can lie to ourselves, but with God we can't lie, which is why we end up
Mhm.
getting a level of deliverance from that, and like
Yeah.
just going to guys and uh if you don't know who God is in your life, so you can just talk to him on a regular, just like, hey God, I don't know. Listen, I know you know
Yes.
me. I'm just getting to know you. Help me
Right.
understand you better. Help me
Yeah.
to learn you better. But once you start having those like intimate moments
Mhm.
with him, he's gonna reveal things to you
So
that it's
much.
gonna feel a lot, but he's gonna give you all the
Ooh.
support you need to be able to
Yes.
process it.
Yes.
But for me, is recognizing that you can't lie to God.
No,
So that's
not at
why you're
all.
able to reach a level of deliverance when you
Mhm.
connect with him, which then can help you recognize the value you have and how he sees you. So
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it. Love it.
I love it. So tell the people how they, first of all, just thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I knew it was gonna be a
Ab-
good one. I knew it was.
Absolutely.
Did
Thank
not
you.
disappoint, girl.
I come
Uh,
to show up. I gotta show up.
so tell the people how they can connect with you and what are some things going on with you.
So you can connect with me. Again, you have it up here at underscore Latoya Danielle on Instagram, but you can also connect with me on Instagram at I underscore GOTTU. That is my purpose. That's my purpose page. The I is for taking a personal responsibility. GOTTU, getting others to their unstoppable. By others, I do
Mm,
mean women. And really, it's just a place where I share just real life stories, encouragement, purpose for women to embrace this journey of healing that we're on, this journey of becoming who we've always been that we're on. And so every other Wednesday, doing better, get more consistent with that. You can catch me on Wednesdays at 1 for a midweek check in. And we're just talking all things healing, all things the journey, purpose, life. So you can reach me there. What do I have coming up? I have this coming up. and, and I have a few things coming up in the works. Can't talk too much about it right now, but you guys, starting in the next month or so, you'll begin to see me post some things about it. Got a project going on with some really dope ladies. And so, yeah, that's where you can find me. That is what I am doing. That's what I'm doing right now out here.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell the people what I'm up to. You know,
Yes. All the
sometimes we got so
things.
much going on, I be
All the
forgetting.
things.
First things first. First things first. I'm sorry.
Hey, hey.
Let's get back to the
I'm
90s.
with it. I'm gonna rock with you with it.
First things is my actually I'm gonna oh no, okay, that's fine. It's fine the way it was. I was gonna see if I can edit it, but that's fine. All right, first things first is my free masterclass, The Art of Mastering Fulfillment. We've been talking about being more than enough. We've been talking about purpose. If you are at that place where you're like, yes, I'm ready to like really take those bold risks, overcome that fear and doubt, really figure out what's holding me back from really stepping into my purpose, really holding me back from helping me to see why I am more than enough, that I am more than enough,
Mhm.
then the Art of Mastering Fulfillment is a great masterclass for you to join. It's free. It's at 10
Yes,
a.m. this Saturday. And you can go to natashabspeaks.com/events to be able to register for that.
yes, check that
And
out.
then, like I mentioned before, I have my 2 books. So this is what we've been reading today. We've been reading from here, the My Self Talk Speaks Life inspirational coloring book that you can get from as you can see under the scroll, that's the same place you can get this coloring book as well. speaklikeintransformation.com/lsl-store is where you can
Yes,
purchase this. And then I also just released my healing journal. Hello Me, it's nice to meet you.
I love
The
that.
healing journal for unlocking your true self. And so there's 12 chapters in here, and each chapter is a healing point. I call them healing points because these are different areas that through my work as a therapist, the most common areas that I'm
Oh,
often seeing that most people need to work on when it comes to really reaching their optimate level of healing. And so, I mean, the list goes on. It goes from healing expression to rejection to self
okay.
reassurance to self doubt, fear, goals, passion, purpose. All the things are in
Oh,
here.
yes, get
Really
that.
reach that. And so there's journal prompts in here. There's activities. Um, it's jam packed with a lot of stuff. So all things I've done in the therapy office. So you probably it's a good self healing journal.
Nice.
And if you're like, girl, I would like both because listen, we talked about this. Doing your
Bundle.
healing journey can be a lot. We just talked about, Toya was talking about how she was punching the walls,
Look.
pillows. Like it's a lot, like emotionally. Like you be like, God, my
Yes,
brain, my heart can't handle no more,
everything,
right?
everything.
And so sometimes you just need a mental break. You need something to help you re-regulate your emotions. You need something that's going to really help you to kind of get yourself back to the present because maybe memories came up that is causing you to feel like you're back in that situation. And that's
Mm,
how this coloring book can be so helpful. This is really a coping strategy. Coloring is a great therapeutic coping strategy to help you with
yes,
mindfulness, help you with
yes,
stress regulation and stress reduction, anxiety relief. And so this has a bunch of coloring pages. And again, those amazing affirmation poetries that can help you
yes.
really reset and re regulate your mindset. So and your emotions. So you can get a bundle. The bundle is available as well. Again, the journal is for pre-order right now, but it is will be officially available March 6th. But you can pre-order your copy now. So make sure you get your copy before it is sold out. That's the whole point of pre-ordering. Like you already got yours on the wait list.
It's
You
on lock.
check, got mine, and worry about it getting caught up in the sold out of everything.
Yes,
So yeah, that's what I'm up to. I'm
I
probably
love
what's
it.
going on, but I
I
can't think.
love it. I
You
love
know,
it. The master class, is that the one that I took?
yes, it
Did I
is. It
take that
is
one?
amazing.
Yes, yes. That was
How
such
did
a
you know
good
about it?
master class. It was such a good master class. I mean, the way you broke it down in different areas. You checked me a little bit in that class. I was
I
like,
did. I did. I did.
you was like, you think that? Do you? Is that what you think? I was like, again, when somebody checks us, it's like,
Listen, I tell people all the time that work with me. Listen, I'm gonna challenge you. I'm
ooh.
gonna be that therapist, that coach that's gonna push you.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna do it in a
gosh.
loving and compassionate way, but I'm not gonna allow you to sit. I tell my clients, I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
we don't have time to wait. Like, we
Right. I love it.
sit on our purpose. We don't have time
Yes.
to be sitting on our passions. We don't have time to be waiting for the perfect moment, the right time. No, we don't have time for all that. Like
Oh
you're
my
now.
gosh.
One of the
Oh.
things I said was, you this goes back to I am more than enough. You are worth more than tomorrow. You are
Ooh,
worth
that's
right now,
good. That's
right? A lot of times like,
good.
oh,
I
I'll do it
love that.
tomorrow or
Yeah, that's
a
me.
year or a couple months from now, or I'll do it next month.
Hmm.
Why don't you deserve it right now?
Why
Why you
don't you
gotta
say,
wait?
I love it. I love that. The way you even put
More
it.
than tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're worth right now. And so, yes,
Oh, I got to
I'm
write
gonna push
that
it. You
down.
come this masterclass on Saturday at 10
Yeah, she
a.m.
did. Go ahead, y'all.
You you're
Go
going.
ahead, y'all. I'm telling you, Pearls was clutched. I was like, oh, I was like, I didn't, I did not. Oh my God. But my one takeaway I will say was giving myself permission to be messy. That has helped me immensely because as a recovering perfectionist,
Mm.
that helped me so much is giving myself permission to be messy. And so yeah, it's some great, great nuggets in that masterclass. So you guys listen, I would tell you this, I'm
Yes.
gonna warn
And
y'all,
it's
but
free. So listen, not
it's
everything
good.
like this is free. So Mara,
Yeah.
get it while
Right.
it's hot.
Okay, better jump on it. I'm telling you. But no, it was a really, it helped me a lot. It really did.
Also, I'm glad you enjoyed it. For those who are
Yeah.
watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Instagram, how about you hop over? You just open a new window on your phone, go to YouTube, and do the at symbol, Speak Like Transformation TV, hit subscribe, like the video,
Yes.
share this. You won't be able to share it. It won't be available to rewatch. So if you just joined us a little late, the replay will be available as soon as I hit end live. It's going to be available immediately on the Speak Like Transformation TV YouTube channel. So
Nice.
check it out on YouTube, share
Yes.
it.
Please.
Yeah, and I'll be back. I'll be back for episode number 6 for
Nice.
Speak Life Lessons. It's gonna be another good one. Listen, this has been really great. I thought it was gonna be a lot because I was like 8. God said 8 the first time, and I was like, 8's a lot. I'm gonna try to do 4. And then so I reached out to all of
Yeah.
y'all to see if you wanted to come. And I was like, well, let me reach out to. I didn't even have a number. I just like randomly reached out to
Okay.
a bunch of people just in case
Okay.
people canceled or whatever. No, nobody canceled. Everybody said yes. Like
Nice. Oh my
nobody
gosh.
couldn't do it.
Yes.
And it all equal to 8. See, this how God
Oh, see, he knows. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I thank
you
you.
try to get around him, and he's like, "Oh, I got you. Watch
No,
this." And then
exactly. Exactly. I thank you for having me. I appreciate you just even thinking of me and reaching out to me. Like this has been, I love this. This is like my jam. Conversation. This is the space that I love. So I appreciate you even inviting me on. It's been great.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
Thank
And so for those that watch me on a regular, you know how I end my videos. Make sure you be bold, be safe, and speak life. See you guys next week. Check me out on Instagram at Speak Life Transformation and TikTok at Speak Life Transformation. Facebook, Live and Speak Life to stay connected and continue to get all types of tips and strategies. Good night, everyone.
Good night.